Hey guys, so I've cleansed, toned, and moisturized my skin, and my hair is just like reflecting all kinds of light, so it looks like kind of like I have too much product in there, but I am telling you, I just have lotion in my hair and I'm waiting for it to dry so it'll look like normal, so don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Okay, so I'm just taking my powder foundation, like the one that I always use, with this brush right here. This was sent to me. I have like a set of 10 of this. No, one set comes in like 10 with 10 different brushes. Yeah, 10 different brushes, and this is very very soft, but as you can see, mine came broken. 2 out of 10 of mine came broken. Fixed it. I basically just like use a candle, melt the wax just a little bit, and just like attach the handle again so it's like good as new. It doesn't like come off anymore. But I lost the handle for this one before I could fix it. If your skin still feels wet from the moisturizer, then blot your face just a little bit, because we don't want this powder to be sticking onto like wet skin, because it's just going to clump and look thick. It's not gonna last properly as well. I'm just going to dab it lightly all over the skin, and then I'm going to buff it. So as you guys may know, I always complain that my skin is very dry and flaky, but I think the condition of my skin has dramatically improved, because I don't have that problem anymore. And you know what's nice about buffing in your foundation? I just feel like my pores look smaller. When I have like dry flakes in my skin, I just feel like when I go in with a buffing motion, I'm just coating that flake with foundation. Therefore, it's gonna look like it's gonna look intense. I'm not putting so much pressure to the point that my brush bristles are splayed, okay? I'm just using the very edge of the brush, like the very tips of the brush, to just like gently caress and molest my face. This is going to give a better finish in my opinion, because you're not really going to irritate the skin that is underneath. I'm just going to slowly build up the coverage until it covers almost everything. Like, look how even my skin is already. So you can build up the coverage of the foundation very very slowly, but it is a powder foundation, so inevitably your skin is going to look a bit dusty if you apply it a little bit too much, like I am right now. But that's alright, because I'm going to go in with a makeup fixer. Makeup fixer is going to absorb all the excess moisture, all the excess powder that is on the skin, so that it gives a bit the look of moisture, a bit of the look of hydration, instead of like your skin being dry and dusty. So I'm going to take the mini version of that brush. This is actually clean, but it's just stained. Clean it a lot of times. This is gonna get rid of any of those wrinkly lines that you have underneath there, because when you apply that powder with the big brush, it just feels like the skin is just like that. I don't really know how to explain, but this just smooths it out. Just build the coverage up. Especially good for small areas of the face, this brush. I'm going to go in with my bronzer. This is a very golden tone bronzer, which I love. So I prefer golden tone bronzers. Do you hear my neighbor trying to scrape something? I'm losing my mind. I'm just going to apply it right on top of the cheekbones, right there. Is that a little bit too much? Okay, gonna do the same thing on the other side. As you saw, I applied it here on like the outsides of my cheekbones, and then I'm going to apply it here, whatever is left on the brush, just a bit on the chin, a bit on the nose, because like the outer perimeters of our face is bronzy. I just like want to add a bit of bronze in the center as well, so just like a bit on the nose. The side of my mouth is naturally darker than the rest of my skin, and that's fine. Whatever is left on the brush, I'm just going to just apply just a little bit, so that it gives back that discoloration, but just like beautifully applied. This is especially good for those of you who apply your foundation and you feel like there's some parts of the face that looks ashy. Our skin is a lot of different shades. Like I have dark skin over here, light, and the center of face is like all light. Whenever I apply foundation that suits this part of the skin, it doesn't necessarily suit this part of the skin. The result of that is that it gives this gray cast on the face. Just apply a little bit of bronzer and you're good to go. So now for the contouring on our cheeks, I'm going to apply this eyeshadow right here, this medium tone shade. I just find that this color has a bit of like a gray undertone or a very neutral undertone, so just load it up on this small brush, because I don't really think I'm going to go for a heavy contour, but then again I changed my mind a lot. So okay, a little bit of that, suck in your cheekbones. My skin is too brown for that color, so let's choose a different color. So maybe I'll just mix in these two shades instead. just apply this right on the hollows of the cheeks. Okay, so just because we have that bronzer just now, I just feel like the blending process is a lot easier. It's kind of like putting a base color on the eyes, you're putting a base color on the cheeks, and then you go in with a darker color, build it up. It's so easy to get that gradient effect from the contour to the bronzer, and then we're going to put our blush and highlight. It just makes everything look a lot easier when I start with my bronzer. And just quickly give myself a nose job. Moisturize my lips while we work on the eyes so that when we get to the lips, when we get to the lips, our lips will be nice and hydrated and moisturized and juicy. I'm sorry. You can use eyelid primer, but I'm not going to because I don't really have oily eyelids and I'm not really going anywhere, so I don't really mind my eyeshadow creasing throughout the day because I'm going to wash it right after this. So I'm going to take my bronzer, just apply this everywhere until I reach my... Oh, I have not done my eyebrows. I cannot... Let me compose myself because I just love my Into Eyebrow powder. You know how much I love my Into Eyebrow powder. I'm going to take this brush. This is a brush from Prison. I'm going to just brush my brows up. This is going to remove like powder on our eyebrows because, you know, we applied powder foundation just now. This is going to knock that powder off. Don't get it in my hair because it's going to make my hair frizzy. And then I'm going to take the same palette. Maybe that dark brown right here. Yeah, the dark brown right there. With this brush, this is a brush from Breena Beauty. This is their new brush. And I'm so excited to try this out. I received it yesterday, washed it yesterday. I'm using it now for the very first time. It looks... okay. Oh my god, that eyebrow shade is a little bit too red for me. I'm going to switch with this one right here. That is so much better. Okay, as you can see, I went in with a very light color. So that is because I still want my hair to show through. But I don't want my eyebrows to look like it's just one solid like block of brow. I don't like that look, and because we're going with a dramatic look, I just feel like it's better to go in with a softer brow because it kind of like balances the look. If you have like a very strong eye, strong eyebrows, strong lip, everything strong, it just makes everything look a bit too drag queenish. That is like, I love drag queen makeup, but that's not the look that I'm going for today. I have one that is very drag queenish coming up, so look out for that one. Okay, so I hate this eyebrow. With the same small brush, I'm going to just put a bit more foundation on there so that it covers that red tone in my eyebrows because I freaking hate that look. Okay, problem solved. I have to touch up my bronzer. I'll do that later. Hopefully I don't forget. Knocking off the excess powder of my eyebrow hair. So much better, so much better. And then I'm going to go in with my eyebrow gel. This is going to keep my hairs in place because as you guys can see, I brush my hair up. I want my hair to stay wherever I brush it, in the direction that I brushed it. And this is going to make the powder last so much longer because this is an eyeshadow, not really an eyebrow powder. Using eyeshadow not long lasting, especially in your eyebrows. It's because, you know, you're using a normal formulation. Eyebrow powders are a bit more waxy, I think. And this is also gonna really remove that powder off our eyebrows so that it looks black and not like dusted powder eyebrows. Okay, so to me, I don't feel like I went in and really filled in my eyebrows too much because I want to still balance it out. I want natural eyebrows paired with really dark eyes so that it doesn't really look too draggish. If everything is too strong, I just feel like it really ages your face and makes it look a little bit too dramatic, and I want to go for that effortless look. This is the first color that we're going to put on the eye, so that whatever color that we're going to put on top is going to lay on top of this. I'm going to slowly build the color up. Why? It's because the best way I can describe is because if you're painting and if you want to sheer out a black, you apply a gray and then like a gray black and then a black. Rather than shearing that black out, it's going to be really difficult unless you're really good. As long as it looks blended, you're good. That's the goal. Okay, now that I'm done with that, I'm going to take that burnt orange color. When people have this palette, I always see that they're really excited for this color, but I was actually excited for all the purples in here. Like here and this one, because I never really got the naked palette, so I was really craving for that romantic purpley pinky tones. But I'm gonna play around with this shade. You always want to like apply that color just a touch lower as you're building the color up, so that it's like light and then darker a bit, darker a bit, darker a bit, like that. Eventually, you know, you're gonna cover up that bronzer, but that's alright because we can always add it. And the purpose of the bronzer is just to make everything blend seamlessly anyway. As you're blending, you need to use a clean brush, and I'm not going to do that because I have this sponge. This sponge is going to knock the excess pigmentation that is on the brush, so that you don't have to switch into a different, like a new clean brush, because like the pigment is already off. Now that I'm kind of happy with the blending process, I'm gonna go in with a darker color. And I'm going to kind of like angle the brush on the very tip, kind of like at the skinny side, so I'll get precision. I have a mirror down here so that I can see what I'm doing. And then I'm going to just apply this in the outer corner, like in like a V shape, like that. So when I open my eyes, that shadow there is going to make my crease, the fold of my eye, look deeper. Apply a bit of black to just intensify the very deepest, the deepest of the crease, the deepest, like kind of like the deepest corners of the crease. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. At the corner there, black. Lay the color with one brush, and then when you're going in with the blending process, you're supposed to use a clean brush. But since I'm lazy, dry scrub my brush clean and do that instead, because I don't want to be wasting my brushes. And then I'm going to move on to my lower lash line. I'm going to do the same thing, but oh man, I took the black instead. No man, I'll just use the black. Clean the brush a little bit, and then go in with the burnt orange. And then with the same brush, apply a little bit of the black, stamp it on the outermost corner so that it gives a little bit of depth. The innermost corner of the eye here that I left blank, apply this color right here, this color. Job. I have to go out. I'll have to get back to the tutorial later, like maybe next week. Okay. My grandma needs me now, so I have to go. I hope you enjoyed this field tutorial, and I will get back to finishing this tutorial because I have, I'm going to do this eye with dark lip and fluttery lashes. I have it in my head, but I cannot finish it. Okay lah. Okay, bye bye. I'm sorry. I'm back! Okay, so I'm at Kampung right now. My grandparents need to go to the clinic and I'm not following. I took my hair down just in case I'm too ugly for you guys. I should have brought my makeup, but when I say my grandparents are going to the hospital, it's not because they're sick or anything like that. They're just going there for a checkup. And I did not expect that me filming a video would take more than 3 hours, and that took more than 3 hours. Yeah. Well, the only reason there is to do a kampung, at least for my kampung anyway, is to just visit your grandparents. But since they have not come back yet, I don't really know how am I supposed to entertain you guys or myself. So to kill time, I'm going to do my Q&A. So I'm gonna answer your questions. So let's start with this one. Macam mana you boleh fluent gila BI? I masa kecil-kecil dulu tak adalah fluent sangat BI pun, sebab dengan family pun cakap BM aja kan. And dengan kawan-kawan pun cakap BM sebab masa tu sekolah harian. Apa yang membuatkan I lebih lancar ataupun lebih fluent cakap bahasa BI ialah I think masa sekolah menengah, I banyak kawan dengan kawan Cina, kawan India as opposed to kawan dengan orang Melayu. So macam dari situ I dapat pick up, and then you know, tengok drama pun dalam bahasa Inggeris je pun sekarang. Lepas tu I guess yang paling membantu ialah cari boyfriend Mak Saleh kot. What camera do I use to film my videos? I use my iPad. Right now I'm using my iPad. And how do I choose the color of my foundation? Just look for a color that you think kind of suits your skin tone. That's, you know, yellow or pink. And then, you know, bronze, contour, and highlight. It's gonna look like your face. You get what I mean? If it's one solid color, of course it's not gonna look natural because no human being has that even tone skin. So you just want to add back that color, your blush, your highlight, you know. If you're talking about pharmacy makeup, then just choose the darker shade, at least for me, because every foundation shade that is out there is very light. It's either light or really light. I mentioned in my previous vlog that I was 21. I'm actually 20 years old. I cannot count. When I was 15, I think I saw a picture of this bride that looked like a clown, and I thought I could do it. And I practiced with myself, with my friends. Every time my sister's friends come over to play like with the Xbox or like, what do you call that? Xbox, right? I don't know. I'm IT blind. I would always do their makeup to the point that they won't even come over anymore because they don't want me to touch their face anymore. I would abuse my maid. I would put makeup on her and she wouldn't like it, but she would always say like, oh, okay lah, you know. Skills have dramatically improved over the years. If you were to look at my first video, so that is all I have for you today, because I can't really open my YouTube account to look at the questions that you guys submitted to me, but I will do that, I will do that.